Hey, if you want to learn how I made this lemon centerpiece, this is a video for you. I'm Rocio, aka Chio, and welcome to Chio's Wreaths. Let me go ahead and start showing you the supplies. For the supplies, we're gonna be using this woven or I guess it could call rattan. Excuse me if my pronunciation is not good, but this is the basket we're gonna be using as our base. We're gonna be using this little piece of foam that I got from the Dollar Tree, some 12 inches zip ties, as well as two type of ribbons in 1.5 inches. For my focal, it's gonna be this beautiful, amazing lemon sprays that I got at the Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry. For our greenery, we're gonna be using this smaller greenery that is gonna be the filler. This amazing sprays or greenery that has these leaves. I can't remember how it's called, guys, but I got this one at Hobby Lobby. Oh, this is also gonna be a filler. And there will be the supplies that we're going to be using today. Oh, as well as this floral pins. You're only going to need 2 or 3 floral pins. And that's going to be for our bow, to get our bow into the floral foam. Okay, to start, we want to attach our floral foam to our base or our bow. And I'm going to be using this 12-inch zip ties. They are not long enough, so I'm going to need to connect 2 of them first. So like make sure that you connect the first part. You don't need to zip tie it too long because we do need it kind of long. So let's go ahead and feed it through our basket because it does have some holes the way that it's woven, so that makes it really easy. So let me go ahead and put it through the bottom side and feed it through the inside of my basket, just like that. I'm going to find this spot that I inserted my zip tie, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull it, and I'm going to go ahead and connect it to the other side of the zip tie. So let's go ahead and tie it very well. Even if the floral foam starts crunching, I call it like it gets crunchy, like it does that noise. That's good. You don't have to go all the way and sink it through, but just a little bit is fine because that creates a very good way of securing your floral foam. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. Connect 2 zip ties. If I can find the right way to do it, because I always do it backwards. This time I did it a little longer. It was by mistake, but it's okay because it's still gonna work. So let's go ahead and fit it through. I use the other side in this case. I'm gonna find another part that I can insert it, and I'm gonna feed it through, and it's gonna be exactly the same process. We're gonna connect it. Okay, you got a little bit stuck, but it's okay. Connect it and zip tie it very well. Once I cut the extra of the zip ties, making sure that it's not too long where I cut it, you can see it's completely secure. This is not going anywhere. So that's what we want to do. We want to go ahead and make sure that everything is tight enough and secure enough that it will not move whenever you're making your design and inserting all your picks and all that. So I just want to go ahead and clean my table a little bit with my little trash bin that I use all the time. And we're gonna go and do our bow, and this is gonna be a 3-loop bow, and I'm gonna do it individually each one, because if I do a regular bow, it's probably not gonna show, and I do want 3 loops in total. So let me go ahead and open my ribbons and do them individually because it will be easier to attach them to the floral foam. So let me go ahead and check how many inches I want my loops. So this is just like I like it to call it a dry run because I'm not actually zip tying or securing anything. I'm just checking to make sure that that's the amount that I want or the length that I want or how many loops I want. So this is looking very good. I like how it looks, and I'm just playing around with the placement to see where the bow could land. So that happens a lot when you're designing things. You want to make sure that you play with whatever you're working and not just make a final decision. Sometimes it's better to do it that way, but it really depends on the design that you're doing. Maybe you've been doing this for a while and you already know the length and how you want it. Okay, so let me go ahead and fast this part of the video, because I'm going to be honest with you, it was a trial and error because I wasn't sure how to attach it, and as you can see, I'm just doing it and pulling it apart. But this time I know how I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure my loops at 12 inches, so it will be a 6-inch loop in total. And then I'm gonna gather it and pinch it on the middle, and I'm just gonna put it together one on top of the other one. I am not twisting, I am not making a regular bow. This is just going to be a 3-loop on top of each other. Once I gather all my loops, I'm going to put my zip tie in between, or actually on top of all my loops. I am not going to put it in between. And as you can see, the bottom part is like a 1/2 inch. It can also be an inch, and they're just all pinched together, and that's what is going to make a cascade bow. Okay, so I'm gonna fluff my loops just to see, make sure that that's how I want them. And as you can see, that's a 3-loop. This is a very handy tool. It's a zip tied gun, and actually I got it from Amazon. I do have a link on the description below where you can buy this zip tied gun through my Amazon link. And if you buy it through the link, either on the app or on the browser, I do get a small commission. It will not cost you any extra, but it does really help my channel, and it does really help to earn that small commission so I can go ahead and buy more supplies. So if you want to follow that link, it will be on the description below. So let me go ahead and cut my ends of my tails, and I'm going to do an angle tail. I'm not going to do a dovetail this time. So let me go ahead and grab my floral pin, because that's what I'm going to use to attach my bow to my foam. I'm going to use this protectors on my fingers because I always burn myself. It seems like it's a hobby of mine to burn myself with some hot glue. But anyways, let me go ahead and attach this floral pin in between one of the loops. Just make sure you find a way. It doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever way you find it to insert it, that's perfectly fine. And once I secure it where I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and glue it together. So making sure that my loops are the way that I want before I go ahead and glue it. Let's bring our glue gun and put enough glue between the floral foam and the floral pin. So make sure that it makes good contact so it's secure enough, and also try to avoid putting the glue on your bow. So let's go ahead and press to make sure the floral pin went all the way. Let me go ahead and do the same for my other ribbon, which is a gorgeous green background with lemons design. So in the meantime, let me go ahead and invite you to like my video. If you're enjoying this content and all the content that I create, please go ahead and give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Please share the video and comment, as well as if you enjoy my content, please go ahead and subscribe so I can bring to you more videos and more designs. Okay, so I'm gathering my loops again. And remember, these loops are going to be gathered one on top of each other. We are not twisting. We are not doing a regular bow like I was mentioning before. We're going to gather it all together. We're going to fluff it a little bit, just to make sure that it's the length that I desire. And I forgot to mention that the loop in the middle is 1 inch shorter, and that's actually on purpose because I want the little loop in the middle to be a little bit shorter. So let's go ahead and grab our zip tie and put it around the bottom of the ribbon that I gather. Zip tie it very well, and I'm leaving about 1/2 inch or an inch. I believe that an inch will be a little more secure, but I decided to do 1/2 inch in this case. Okay, let's go ahead and tie it very well. Grab our zip tie gun and let it cut it for myself. That's actually pretty handy. I keep saying the same thing. I'm so glad I found this. I seen other creators use it, so I went ahead and buy it, and I promise you that you will not regret this zip tie gun. Even if you don't do crafts, this zip tie gun can be very useful for whenever you're using any kind of zip ties. So fluffing my bow again. This time, I would like my bow, this specific ribbon, to go on top of the black and white lines ribbon. It's a vertical lines. Is it vertical or horizontal? You know what? I think I will call it horizontal because it's going horizontally through my ribbon. But anyways, I got lost on that thought. But let's go ahead and grab another floral pin, if I can grab it, because it's a little bit over there stuck with other things. And we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put my finger protectors because we don't want to burn ourselves. Just go ahead and find a spot. This is a little bit more difficult because I already have a bow on the bottom. But you know, just find a spot that you like, that you think is secure enough. Let's go ahead and put more glue. And remember, make sure that the glue is on the floral pin as well as my floral foam. That way it's going to be more secure. Okay, let's go ahead and start adding our greenery stems. And when I pull it, I realize that it's not attached to a more stiff stem. It's actually very flimsy, the bottom part. And when I'm trying to insert it, I notice that it's not very secure. I tried another spot to see if that will work, but it actually didn't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna add some floral picks, and I'll show you in a minute. For now, I'm just going ahead and remove some of the leaves that I want to use, at least calculating the amount that I need. And once I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my SteelPix machine. Let me show you what is that. My SteelPix machine, I got it at eBay actually, because I don't know if they don't make them anymore, but it's really difficult to find them in stores. This is my SteelPix machine, which actually will help me put a pick through or on top of my stem. So let me go ahead, and meanwhile I figure out how to do this, because honestly the actual SteelPix came and attached, so that's a little bit of a problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my stem, pull my lever, and that will put on top a pick, a SteelPix, that will help me insert it better. So this is the SteelPix, and I'm charging it on the machine. So once I know it's there, very secure, and I had to watch a video, guys, because I had no clue how to do it. There was no instructions. Again, this came from eBay. So I'm just trying to make sure that it's on the right position. See, they came all loose, so that's a little bit of a problem. But you know, there's a trial and error, and I figure it out. As you can see, once it's charged, it's gonna bring this part of the SteelPix, and when I press it, it's gonna press it against my stem. So that way I have a more sturdy way of inserting my stems or anything that you want to insert to a floral foam, and actually also a wreath. So it's very nice to have this. You don't have to have it, but it is a lifesaver. So once I've done this, I'm gonna go ahead and insert the first stem to see if I like it where it goes. These are very long stems, and I really like them because they are all wired, so you can go ahead and manipulate them as you want. I am not gonna be using glue on this one because the end of the SteelPix, it has like some jagged ends, so it will not be necessary to use hot glue. You can if you want to, but I didn't do it. I didn't think it was necessary. So right here, I'm just adding my longer stems to make sure that I add some length to the sides as well as to the top. And if I like how it looks, I'm just going to continue. But if you don't like it, you can remove it and try another spot. So let me go ahead and grab more of this because I think it needs a little bit more. But instead of doing that, I'm going to first use the smaller greenery and the other filler so I can go ahead and fill all the spots. If I use the longer stems on everything, it's not gonna look well. It's not gonna show everything that I want because it's gonna be all saturated. It's gonna look like a jungle, guys, and we don't want that. We want texture, we want dimension, so we want this to flow. And the only way for it to flow is to add different kinds of greenery, different lengths, so that will create a beautiful, stunning centerpiece. So meanwhile, I fight with this little tag that I hate when Hobby Lobby puts this little tags. They tell me to use like a little scissors, the ones for sewing, but I don't have one, guys. So I had to just fight with it. You know what I like about these bushes that are a pusher? As you can see, all the leaves can be pushed all the way to the top. And that's very nice because you can decide if you want them all saturated on the top, or if you want to give them more length, you can go ahead and adjust this as adjust it however you want. So these are really good bushes. Always try to buy some pushers because they actually are very versatile. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start adding this on the sides using my finger protectors and glue. I always like to put a silicone mat on the bottom because when I'm using glue, I don't want my table or my cutting mat to be full of glue, and then, it's gonna be a little bit of a pain try to remove it, and it could damage your table or whatever you're using on the bottom. So let me go ahead and insert this one to make sure that I like where it goes. And for this case, I am somewhat doing a dry run, and I like to pre-perforate sometimes where I'm putting my stem. You see, I'm putting it, excuse me, guys. I'm putting it at the side because those are the parts that I want to cover the most with this type of greenery, this short greenery. So putting some glue on the stem, I'm going to go ahead and find the hole that I pre-did, and I'm just going to go ahead and insert it. And as you can see, I'm going to push it a little bit to the bottom because I need more coverage on the bottom, but it still gives it some length, but I can control how much I want the length of those leaves. Doing the same thing, this time I know where I want it, so I'm not doing a dry run, and I'm gonna put some hot glue, the same as the other one, and go ahead and insert it on the side. I'm gonna be doing this all around, basically on the sides of my floral foam, because I do want a good coverage and I don't want to use all the big greenery like I was mentioning before. So yeah, that's what we're gonna keep doing. And once we do that, we're gonna fluff our bow again. I'm gonna be fluffing the bow during the whole process because I wanna make sure that I'm not covering it too much. I wanna make sure that it's looking how I really want it. This other bush, it's also a pusher, guys. So that's a really good advantage because as you can see, when I push it to the top, it gives me more coverage. So yay for the pusher stems, guys. I really love them, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and insert some of these ones in the middle. Let's go ahead and start with this one right here. See if I like it. And once I decide that I like the position, again, we're going to put some hot glue. You don't have to use hot glue, but it's just for security. If you've seen my videos, you know that security is my thing. Like if I'm like a VPN or something for internet. But yeah, let's go ahead and make sure that it's secure enough. And if you pull it, it's not coming out easily. Of course, if you pull it a lot, with enough force, everything's gonna pull apart. But let's go ahead and I use my fillers, and I decided that I need more of the longer stems. So I'm gonna put some of those picks again with my SteelPix machine, and I'm gonna be using 2 more. I want one in the center to give it a little bit of height, and one on the side to, let me see if I want it on the other side, because I'm looking what do I have on the opposite side. So I'm gonna bend it. This is a good part of these stems. I love them, guys. I love this bush so much. But yeah, I'm gonna insert it on the side, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a little curve on it, so it creates like that natural look, because when we're doing floral arrangements, we want to make sure that it looks closer to a natural, arrangement with natural flowers or whatever we will be using in a natural centerpiece. Let's go ahead and bring the start of the show, guys. The start of the show is going to be the beautiful lemons that I show you at the beginning. This bush is not a pusher, but that's fine because I like different lengths on the bush. So we're going to work with that. And I like that these ones also have their own leaves. So that's going to give it more playfulness to my arrangement, because it's going to have different leaves, which creates different textures, which creates like that flowing state that I was talking about earlier. So cutting all my stems, I'm going to start using one of my stems that I cut. These ones are the shorter ones, and I'm just going to go ahead and see what are the lengths of each one of them. I'm also going to use that one that is just some leaves, but I'm going to be using that one towards the end. So this is the longer one, and I want this one on the center. As you can see, it's creating a beautiful length on top. So it's going to be kind of tall because my base is kind of short, but let's go ahead and give it that dimension that we want, and let's go ahead and make it a little bit tall. So right in the middle, I'm going to go ahead and insert my lemon, my playful lemon. I just love this design, guys. I don't know what's with me and citrus this year, but I'm going to tell you, I am obsessed with citrus designs this year. So I'm just going to go ahead and decide where I want the next one. And I want to give you a piece of advice that I think is helpful for creators out there, is that when you do some floral arrangements, for me, there's no rules. You do have to balance the way that the leaves and the flowers are, but I don't always do the mirroring that some people do. Like in one side you have one, you have to have it on the other. It does really depend on your design. I like the more free form designs, but it's totally up to you if you want to do that, for sure. And by putting the lemons in different lengths, in different spots, I'm creating that asymmetrical look that I just totally love. Actually, I did my wedding bouquet and it was an asymmetrical free form, and I just totally loved it. Okay, so continuing with my design, I'm just inserting where I feel that the lemon will go great. So this is just like, feel and be free on whatever you think it looks good. Whatever floats your boat, guys. Putting some of the hot glue, inserting this stem towards the corner, but a little bit on top of my floral foam. I'm gonna turn it around so I can get a better look of how it's getting how it's looking at the moment. And I'm gonna insert the other lemon. This is one of the shorter lemons, and I'm just checking what part of my design I wanted, and I want this one closer to the bow. And again, adding some hot glue. Now I'm just turning around my design and making sure that if I need more, I'm going to go ahead and add more lemons. But I decided that those lemons were enough. So now let's go ahead and bring our other filler. And basically this is going to work for the little spots that you can still see the floral foam or it looks empty, but it's not big enough to add another lemon or another of the small shorter leaves that I was using at the beginning. So this is gonna act like a small filler. It also going to add a different texture of green and the actual greenery, how it looks with the little leaves. And also it's going to give me some white. As you can see, the top of this stem has little white flowers, so that is actually giving it the little bit of white that I have on my ribbons to complete the design. A little bit of balance is very nice. So I'm potentially going to use more of this, so I'm going to cut one to see where I want it, because on the middle, as you can see, there's a big gap, and that one potentially it's not gonna fill with the other stems that have the little leaves. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this one to the middle just so I can cover that spot, that big spot that is right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and push it to the bottom. Okay, so we're gonna add our final touches, just adding a little bit more greenery where I feel and it's a little bit more. Let's go ahead and fluff everything, make sure that it's where I want it, turn it around and see how it looks. So I'm very satisfied with the way it looks, guys. I think it looks very freeform, very natural. So what do you think, guys? Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you would do something like this. And also let me know where you're watching from. If you watch to the end, please leave me a lemon emoji so I can know that you watched the whole video. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you later. Bye.